called expectation. So you remember the motivation for defining a random variable. The idea is that with your randomized experiment, there is a numerical value. So for every outcome, you have a numerical value. And in some sense, we want to estimate that numerical value. We want to guess what kind of numerical values will we get if we perform the randomized experiment. So this is the motivation given, and one of the quantities which captures this is called expectation. You might have seen a simple version of it before. It's average. So for example, if you go for a lottery, what is your expected earning? You can ask these kind of questions, right? And suppose if all outcomes were equally likely, right? So my sample space is omega 1 to omega n. I have a random variable. And now if I ask what is the value of x you will get in expectation, you should just get a average of all these values. Again, here we assumed that probability of each of these outcomes was equally likely. But that might not be the case. So take that general case, we define expectation of a random variable to be sum over all possible x's, x times probability of x. So you can notice that this definition matches with this definition if each wi were equally likely. Okay, even if your xw1 could have been equal to xw2 and so on, this definition will make sense. So this we take as the definition of expectation. This is the expectation of x. This is one of the cumulative quantity, and I would say the simplest one of the random variable x. In the course, we will see other cumulative quantities which gives us some idea about the random variable. The random variable x does not take all the real values. So summing it up over all possible values is not correct, or it's much more expensive. So really what we do is say R is the range of x. So remember, our expectation of x was defined to be probability x equal to x. Actually previously I wrote x is element of capital X. That does not make sense. Capital X is not a set. So this should be R here. For all possible values of x we are summing. And now when we know that the range is actually much smaller, it's only capital R, I would actually just sum it up over R to make it less expensive, so that I don't keep adding zeros. So as soon as I have defined expectation, I would like to point out one common misinterpretation. So many people claim that for a random variable x, it attains the expected value with high probability, and this is completely incorrect. Okay, you can have random variables where ex is attained with probability 0. Okay, so you should remember that expectation does not say that you attain expected value of x with high probability. The correct interpretation is if we repeat the experiment of x, then the average value of the experiment or x will be close to the expected. So you should remember this difference. It is not that we attain ex with high probability. if we repeat the experiment multiple times, then the average value of the experiment will be close to E of x. Okay, and this we will make much more precise in future. We will see law of large numbers, we will see Chernoff bound, and we will see that why this makes sense. Okay, we'll devote close to a week to talk about this idea. Okay, so now with this interpretation of expectation, let's move on and collect some. The first example, let's say your friend comes to you and places a bet. He says he will give you 100 rupees if an odd prime turns up on the throw of a dice. So again, we are throwing a dice, and if an odd prime turns up, he will give you 100 rupees. Otherwise, you have to give him some. Question is, what money or amount you should agree to part. So once again, you have a friend who comes to you and says that on a throw of a dice, if an odd prime comes up, then he will give you 100 rupees. But otherwise, you should pay him something. You want to find out how much you should pay. Okay, in this kind of question, it is quite clear that you can't always win. The dice is fair, so there is a good chance that there is an odd prime. So there is a 1/3 chance that you got an odd prime, which is 3 and 5, and there were 2/3 chance that you got a non-odd prime. Okay, so you cannot win all the time, but I guess the definition of winning in this should be defined as your expected earning should be greater than 0. Okay, so now the question is, so x again is going to be your earning, and question is, what is the expected value of x, right? So with probability 1/3, question is, what is your expected earning? With 1/3 probability, you get 100 rupees. With 2/3 probability, you lose some amount L, and questions determine L. So you clearly see that if L is less than 50, then expected value of x is greater than 0, and you can bet. So if L is equal to 50, it's a fair bet. Otherwise, if L is less than 50, then it is in favor of you. If L is more than 50, then it is in favor of your friend. Okay, let's take one more example and talk about, you start tossing a fair coin. You toss a fair coin multiple times. Remember, coin is fair, and stop once you see. Okay, so you keep tossing a fair coin and you stop once you see head. So question is, what is the expected number of? So again, probability that I toss k times is nothing but half to the k. So first k minus 1 should be tail and the last one should be head. So expected value of x is nothing but summation over k. K is equal to infinity k times half to the k. And you might have seen this kind of expression before. To calculate this summation, you multiply it again. So let's say s is k equal to 1 to infinity k times half to the k. You calculate half s, which is nothing but summation over k half to the k plus 1. You subtract them and you obtain s is equal to 2, which seems fair. So again, you have a friend who likes to place bets. So he suggests that both of you put 100 rupees in a pot. Okay, and then if the share value, you predict the share value, whether it will go up or go down. If both are correct, divide the pot equally. If one is correct, then gets the whole pot. Okay, both are correct or incorrect, let's say. So if both are correct or incorrect, we divide the pot equally. If one is correct, then gets the whole pot. Seems fair, assuming that none of you have any idea about share value. This bet is okay. But now there is a twist. Your friend says that his sister also wants to contribute. So, since his sister is not here, he will pay for her and also mention her guess. That means whether the stock market goes up or down, her sister's opinion he will take into account. What do you think? Is this a fair bet? So at this point, probably you should pause, look at the question and see whether it's a fair deal. So again, in the next case, we should again look at our expected gains. So with half the probability, I will my guess will be correct. With half the probability, my guess will be incorrect. Okay. Now, if in case your friend decides to put opposite outcome for him and his sister, you will be fooled. Okay. So what you can say is that your friend and sister, they will always have opposing outcome. So in this case, when you win 150 rupees because you share the pot. And if you lose, you get 0 rupees. Okay. So your expected earning is half times 150 plus half times 0 is equal to 7. Okay. So this is not a failure. Okay. So these are just examples of how you can calculate expected value and how it gives you a sense of what should you expect from a randomized